Hello and welcome to Traffic Talks. My name is Pyro and I talk about what's going on in my life, usually with a lesson I've learned, some tips and tricks you can follow that helped me, and a lot of laughs in each episode. If this sounds like something you would enjoy hearing, feel free to follow the podcast, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and to see what I'm up to, you can check out my Instagram page linked below. Bye! Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am not sick, but I am a bit emotional. As you can see, the title of this episode is The Blame Game, and I don't think I should be recording this as I sit here. But I'm going to do it in any case, just because I feel, A, if this never sees the light of day, I at least got all the emotions out, and B, if it does see the light of day, meh. Too tired to care right now. So I am running on 4 hours of sleep. I've had full work days. I've had a million things going on. I am exhausted physically and emotionally. Emotionally, I'm gone. Completely drained. I'm speaking with my eyes closed at the moment. That's just how tired I am. So that's where I am. It's been hard. I don't know how I'm going to get through this episode without breaking down, but I'm going to try. So, let me just start. Deep emotional sigh. And here we go. So this all started, I think, last week, Friday. It was a tough week last week. The public holiday makes your week short. It gives you 2 Fridays and 2 Mondays. And I was just tired from the week. By the time Friday came around, I was drained. And then Saturday came around with its crappy rainy weather. And I ended up getting into a very emotionally charged fight with someone. And it was hard. There was a lot of circles in terms of the arguments and the points. And it went on for a long time. And I'm talking not just quick 20-minute and you're done. This was consistent over about a 3-4 hour period of time. It was just a back and forth that drained me. And then I went out that evening or late afternoon with my parents and came back home, and the Sunday everything blew up in my face. So I was exhausted from the week. I had the emotional, just carnage happen on Saturday, and then Sunday morning I wake up and it's confusion and chaos and phone calls and a disaster. And the next thing I know, I'm breaking down crying in the middle of the kitchen. So that happened, and I was shattered by everything that just went on. I eventually made it out of the house that day to go to an event. My bag still has about a quarter box of tissues, just in case I, burst out in the middle of a park. But that is what it is. And I know I'm being vague and I apologize, but that is the entire thing of this blame game. Getting to the core of how the entire misinterpretation, misunderstanding, miscommunication happened. Getting to the bottom of who was to blame was the core issue that didn't get solved until Monday, and even then it didn't get solved. It was just once again a back and forth, round and round blame game. And it's hard to be this unsettled because I am such an emotional person, but it's something I need to learn. So why not make an episode about it? So here I am, and I've done a little bit of research into the blame game, and I found a website called Mind Tools. They have a really good article on the blame game, and the definition they give here to the question, what is the blame game, is when something goes wrong and we feel threatened, it's natural to want to defend ourselves against any repercussions. We might find ourselves scapegoating or trying to shift the blame elsewhere. For me, I would say I'm a very self-aware person. I know if I'm wrong, I'll apologize, and if I'm right, I will fight, because I kind of know where I stand. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And it's not a pride or an ego thing, because that is facts. I can separate myself from the situation. But what happened this weekend left me feeling disrespected, and that in turn left me feeling disappointed. And here I sit with this disappointment and anger over not having resolved it to any solid conclusion, and I don't know what to do about it. And the one thing they say in this article is that in order to move forward, there should be quite a few things. But they also say that avoiding the blame game doesn't mean letting things slide. It doesn't mean you're hoping the situation will resolve itself. It's being more active about things going forward. If it's something that is easily something you can resolve, do that to avoid having to play the blame game in the first place. And one of their main tips that they give is that you need to change the conversation around the blame game. Don't put your emotions into it so strongly, because as they said earlier, you are feeling threatened. You now want to defend yourself from that as a way of protecting yourself from an attack. And the thing you need to do is take your personal issues out of it. It's done. It's over. It's finished. The thing to do now to move forward is to ask, how do we move forward? Where do we go from here? What can we do about the situation right now? Because it's done. The egg is cracked and is spilling everywhere. What are we going to do? Do we need to clean it up? Do we need to flip it over? What is going on? And that's the thing that I have to accept. The situation's done. The situation's over, but it needs to be resolved. And one of the next steps is to actually apologize. So trying to figure out where things went wrong, not to assign blame, but to rather assign acknowledgement of the situation. This happened. It is what it is. I'm sorry it did happen, or I'm sorry it resulted in whatever it resulted in, and I would not like it to happen again, so what can we do? And that is something that each person in the situation needs to do. They each need to acknowledge their part in the scenario, because things don't happen in a vacuum or isolation. Nothing happens in that kind of way. It's all the small things that make up the big thing. And this is where the communication comes in. You need to talk to everyone. Whoever needs to apologize needs to apologize. But everyone was there, whether they participated actively or not. It needs to be handled. And the final thing you need to do is learn from this mistake. Why did it happen? How can we avoid it happening again now that it's over? And what measurements can we put in place going forward? Because going around in circles is exhausting. I am tired. I am done. I don't want to have to do this again, but I have a feeling I will. And at this point, I'm just wanting to put a big RSVP no thank you on my forehead right now, because that's just the way I feel. I am someone who is fairly responsible. I'm fairly organized. The fact that the situation happened, where I wake up and I know absolutely nothing that's going on, and I have to be somewhere at a certain time. I was never informed. Nothing was ever confirmed. I was not even aware this was happening prior to being told 9 a.m. on a Sunday. We're arriving in an hour. So I have no words. I am on top of things, and how something this major slipped through the cracks is unfathomable to me. I'm still reeling from it. I'll eventually get over it, but it's not going to be easy. I am not going to forgive this very easily, especially because of the people involved. I would have assumed they would have known me better than that, and that I would have deserved a little bit more respect, just as a human being in the situation. I am not a child. So that is my 2 cents. That is my episode. I didn't want to drag it out. I've been enjoying the shorter episodes, and I can't think of an appropriate song, except maybe, this is a throwback. A friend of mine is gonna love this, but yeah. Jojo, the song Leave, Get Out, that is summing up my life. I just want people to leave and get out and go, and I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to you, I just want to be mad for a little while. So that, or maybe the song Mad by Cyrus, which I played on repeat until Spotify was like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? So yeah, that is it for me. I want to say keep being a better being, but I don't know. I'm feeling a bit lost, so I'm going to say instead, after having already said it, that I hope you are okay. Because things like this happen and we don't talk about it and we just keep it quiet and then we sit and cry at home. So I hope you are okay. I hope you have a good week. And I hope that you are sleeping. Because honestly, I have not been sleeping. So yeah, that is me. I will see you in next week's episode. Yeah. Bye.